All right, men, welcome to today's episode of Strong Men, Strong Marriages. When your wife gives your kids more affection than you. So, this used to drive me crazy. A lot of the guys that I work with, they have this complaint where their wife won't hug them, but she'll hug the kids. She'll give the kids kisses, but they won't kiss their husband, right? So this happens. There's a reason for it. We're going to talk about it today and what you can do about it. My name is Mike Frazier, MD. I'm a psychiatrist and a marriage coach, and I help high-achieving Christian men have more intimate marriages. So some wins from guys in my program, Strong Men, Strong Marriages. Guys are deepening their emotional connections with their wife, having those conversations, feeling connected again, feeling like friends, laughing, having fun. It's so fun to see. Guys are able to not have that desire or need to fix their wife's emotions. They're able to let her have her emotions without, jumping in, trying to save her from them. And it's a paradox, but when you can just kind of be with her in them, a lot of times that is the fix instead of you trying to quote unquote cheer her up or things like that, or solve her problem if she brings you one, that kind of thing. One of my favorite ones this week was a guy was able to say he just felt full, right? He felt emotionally full, spiritually full by connecting with things he enjoyed, connecting with God, and didn't need her to react a certain way. And this applies to what we're talking about today about your wife showing affection to your kids, but not you. That neediness for her to show you that affection is what repels her. And what happened to this guy is when he was able to feel full, his wife was turning away from his hugs and kisses to where she was coming and kissing him, waking up to her, kissing him, making him meals, out there to serve him because he didn't need that from her. Okay. And then for me, my wife and I have been getting the good wins around parenting, feeling more like a team. She's been really supportive of me and me trying to make some changes as a dad, in particular to our one of our teenage sons. So yeah, things been good here. It's been nice. So again, right now, if you're seeing this, right, and you're frustrated, man, my wife, she'll hug my kids, but not me. You're out there, you're working hard to be a good husband and father, you're providing for the family, all of that. But when you come home, your wife will be hugging the kids, your kids will come give you a hug, your wife will turn away, right? Where you try to give her hugs, she kind of like shies away. You try to give her a kiss, she turns her cheek, right? That kind of thing. She doesn't seem very happy when you come home. But again, she's more than happy to give the kids hugs, kisses, affection, hold them. And, she might even tell you, well, I'm just not that much of a touch person. But then you see her with the kids, enjoying that physical touch. And so you're like, what are you talking about? You are connecting with them that way, and you just don't want to connect with me. So, and maybe you brought that up with her and told her, hey, look, you say you don't really like touch, but there you are with the kids, but you won't do that with me. So what I want you to pay attention to is what your feeling state is when you're thinking this or when you're asking this of her. Okay. Probably you're feeling resentful. You're kind of angry at her. You kind of feel like she's being a liar to you. Um, you're kind of whiny. You're kind of needy. Like, oh, it's not fair. You'll give them a hug, but not me. Kind of a whiny feeling. And then that can, again, easily turn into irritation, resentment. That's not fair. Look at everything I do. You can't even give me a hug. What's that about? So frustration, whininess, neediness, anger, resentment, all those feeling states are not very attractive. So when you come to her like that, well, you'll give the kids a hug, but not me. Why won't you do that? What are her options? So it's not very attractive to her the way that you're presenting this to her. And so she can come and give you a hug, but she's not going to be very excited about that hug. She sees it as she's kind of having to take care of a baby that can't manage his own emotions. So yeah, she might come give you a hug. Oh yeah, sorry, baby. Let me burp you now. It's not very attractive to her again. Or she's like, well, I better give him a hug or else he's going to get mad, right? So she's doing it like out of fear of your reactions, which again, that's not attractive to her. So, and even if you don't say anything to her, this still comes across, if these kind of thoughts are going through your mind, oh, she's a liar, she says she doesn't like touch, but she'll touch everybody else, but not me. I do so much for her, she can't do this for me. All of that is kind of boiling inside you. You're feeling resentful, you're feeling angry, you're feeling needy, you're feeling whiny. So, yeah, that she should at least give me as much affection as she gives the kids. Like, come on, you can at least do that. Or, yeah, she's lying that she doesn't like affection. So again, that generates those feeling states inside you of feeling angry, of feeling resentful. So again, even if you don't necessarily say it, that's the energy that's coming across to her. Okay. So, and really what's happening here is part of that mosquito cycle. So you're doing all this nice stuff for your wife, you're providing, you're helping with the kids, you're doing the 5 love languages, all that stuff. Um, and you're expecting back attention, appreciation, affection, sex. You want it back from her, right? So you start getting frustrated when you don't get it, resentful, angry, and then you either explode, you get mad at her, or you escape, or you kind of like try to stuff those emotions. Then you feel bad, especially if you explode or escape and explode, get mad at her, feel bad, and then you start doing nice things for her again, start getting resentful again. Or you just kind of like escape and sort of check out emotionally, like, okay, well, I guess I'm never going to get a hug in my marriage. And you just like are sad all the time, basically. So, and this is where I meet guys, they're experiencing these things and it's hard. And again, like I used to be there too. So what do you need to do instead? Right? What you need to do instead is like that guy at the beginning, get that sense of self-worth from God. Get it from, get a sense of joy from you doing things that you like. Get fulfillment from your work. Appreciate yourself for doing hard work and being a good husband. Have a good relationship with yourself where you're able to talk to yourself well and kindly and, see that value that you have. So when you do that, you're not as needy for her to build you up. And that's really what a lot of the mosquito cycle is about, is you want her to give you a hug so you can feel valued, so you can feel loved, so you can feel like somebody cares. And so there's nothing wrong with those desires. It's just that, again, if you're coming to them, especially from that frustration, resentment, or anger, she's not going to be attracted to you to want to give you a hug or a kiss. So instead, you come in and you're feeling good, you're feeling appreciative of yourself, you're not needy for her to give you that attention, appreciation, affection. So then what you can do is start shifting the way you're approaching her. Okay. So instead of looking at her hugging the kids and being like, oh, why won't you hug me? Which generates all those negative emotions. You can look at that and say, man, like she's a great mom. Look at how she's taking care of the kids. She's helping them feel loved. Wow. I'm really grateful for that. I'm so glad my kids have a mom who cares about them. Okay. When you see it that way, now you start generating some feelings of love for her, of appreciation. Okay. Another thing you can do is understand, hey, you know, when she's telling you, I'm just don't feel in a touchy mood, or uh, a lot of times women, especially if you got younger kids that are kind of on her a lot, physically climbing on her, all of that, she might be, there's this phrase touched out, which means like her body just is sort of overstimulated by so much physical touch from the kids. And so when you're like, hey, give me a hug, give me a kiss, she's kind of like, her body just doesn't want that. Her body wants some time by herself, some space, just to relax and be on her own for a while. So, if the kids have been climbing her all day and then you come in and you're like, oh, give me a hug and kiss, she's like, man, another one of the kids, I just need like some time to myself. So just understand that. Give her that space. So you come in, you can try to give her a hug. She's like, not right now. And you can just be like, hey, I get it. You're with the kids all day. Let me give you some space. And then you can ask her, how's your day? She might be like, I just need some time to myself. Like, great. Yeah, go take a break. I'll handle the kids. Okay. So yeah, give her that break from the kids. And more importantly, give her a break from your whining and neediness. So, like, she probably isn't very excited for you to come home either if this is the pattern, right? When you walk in, you have that feeling of resentment and anger towards her. She doesn't really like that either. That's why she's kind of walking away, doesn't really want to be around that energy. Okay. So those are some quick things you can do, right? Walk in with appreciation instead of resentment, understanding instead of judgment, giving her a break, trying to serve her instead of trying to make her serve you. So those are good shifts that will help you, again, like just feel better, which will be more attractive and make it more likely that she will start giving you more physical affection that you're looking for. Okay. Because again, there's nothing wrong with wanting that physical affection. It's just when you're feeling like it's owed to you, like it's an obligation for her, that's when it becomes a problem and not attractive and you're resentful towards her. Okay. So the other thing you need to do is look at the deeper issues going on for you that are unattractive to her. So this is, it's a clue that there's some deeper things going on. Like if she will hug the kids but she won't hug you, yeah, there's probably some quite a bit of unattractive stuff going on that we talk a lot about in this podcast. Probably some self-worth and self-confidence issues, probably some issues managing your thoughts and emotions, probably some issues with communication, probably some issues with how you approach intimacy with her, both just hugs and kisses and sex, right? All the physical stuff, when that starts going, it's because other things have been eroded earlier, like trust, whether that's by you losing like not controlling your temper or emotions or pornography or something like that. Trust starts breaking. Then communication starts to fall apart, gets more superficial, and then or fighting that doesn't get resolved, or yeah, like I said, superficial, you just aren't really connected, then the physical tends to go after that. So if you're at that spot where she's turning away from your hugs and kisses, probably your communication isn't great or it's superficial, and trust isn't really there, the safety's not really there because you haven't done a great job managing your own thoughts and emotions um, in an effective way. So we have to go backwards and kind of address those things, and that's what we do in our program. So again, why does this work? So if you were to walk in with more appreciation, again, that feels much better to you and it's more attractive to her. And also understanding, right? That feels good and it's more attractive. So, and that's the paradox. When you walk in, you're less needy for her affection. When you're like, hey, you're an amazing mom. Thank you for hugging the kids and giving them that affection. It's so important to them. And hey, you're probably touched out. Let me give you a break. Okay. So at that point, you're not needy for her affection, and that's what makes you more likely to get it. If you were to walk in with that attitude, your wife would be like, oh man, I have the best husband ever, he's so amazing, and that will make her want to come up and give you a hug and a kiss, right? So what skills do you need then to do this? First off, you need insight into your own negative patterns of thinking, feeling, and acting. And hopefully you got some insight into those from today's podcast. That resentment, that anger, that frustration, it's not an energy that feels good and it's not attractive to her. So when we can shift that into gratitude, understanding, and appreciation, okay, that feels better and it's more attractive to her. So again, we need to find your negative patterns of thinking, feeling, and acting. We pointed out some common ones today, then help you create new ones of thinking, feeling, acting, kind of like we did here in the podcast. But then step 3 is you have to practice those new patterns until they're the default. And we kind of, from these podcasts, you're going to get some good tips. But when you come in the program, we apply all this stuff to a very structured system that will help you understand exactly how to apply these things, how to see your negative patterns, how to create new ones, how to practice those every day. And we hold you accountable to do that every day. So we've got to do that. The things that you need, right, to do this: self-confidence, connection with God, mental and emotional management, communication skills, being able to listen well, express yourself well, set boundaries, okay, and then intimacy skills. How do I bring fun and flirting and passion back? So we teach you all of that in our program, Strong Men, Strong Marriages. You're going to come in 90 days, you're going to learn these things, make these changes. Guys are having huge turnarounds. The guy that I just shared with you, it's so fun to see, and we would love to have you in there with us. So we've got a few different ways we can work together. So come to strongmenstrongmarriages.com or visit the link in the show notes, fill out an application. Based on your application, we'll suggest the best course of action for you. So again, that's strongmenstrongmarriages.com or click link in the show notes. And stay strong, men. We'll see you next episode.